Larkin's influence was extending beyond the city and into the rural parts around County Dublin and beyond. Challenged by this, the employers in Dublin decided that something was going to have to be done to stop the organisation of the working class. And at this stage, we're going to see the most brutal type of class warfare, where the ruling class used for decades to having unchallenged control over their right, as they saw it, to take whatever property and the good and value of property that they wanted. They were confronted by a new tactic which Larkin had perfected, the tactic of the sympathetic strike, where Larkin issued this new, fresh tactic, one that allowed unskilled workers, men and women who didn't normally have huge economic leverage in the workplace because they didn't control key areas of the industry, particularly here in Dublin City, where there wasn't in Dublin City in that decade, there wasn't the heavy industry that there would have been in Belfast or the great cities of Britain. Dublin was a city of administration for the Crown and of the retail sector, predominantly. A very, very difficult sector to exercise economic leverage by working men and women. Larkin perfected the tactic of the sympathetic strike, where if one shop or factory or premises went on strike, whatever that was dealing with, no other union man or woman would deal with that spot. It's sympathetic action. It has been one of the great leverages of organised labour throughout the world, and it was one of these things, one of those tactics that you will see time after time, decade after decade, that the ruling class will seek to deprive organised labour of. Most notably recently in one of the key aspects of Thatcher's legislation. It was also, and it's also been introduced here, to make sure to deprive what in essence is the working class showing solidarity across the board with other members of the working class. And fearful of seeing the class balance in this city and beyond this city, bear in mind, because this city being the capital of the island was going to impact across the island. And had the working class gained significant traction in Dublin, it was inevitably going to ripple out across the island and perhaps beyond, and that was why in mid-1913, in July of 1913, the employers here in Dublin City decided that a stop was going to have to be put on the Irish Transport and General Workers Union and the advances being made by the working class in this city.